on October 7th when the Kibbutz Beeri, a residential neighborhood, a peaceful small area of people, of families living there, was so brutally attacked. And those brutalities are still coming to the surface of what unfolded, what was done to children, women and the elderly. Ground Zero, Shiv, Aroor.
We're reporting now from Kibbutz Beeri, which is one of the closest agricultural communes to the Gaza Strip. This is a kibbutz where the destruction is not only apparent, but the void that's been left behind is particularly devastating. Over 100 people were massacred by the Hamas right here at this particular kibbutz. The destruction is very, very plain to see. But worse than that, over 100 hostages were taken from just this one kibbutz, which means that over 100 of 200 plus hostages that are currently in Gaza in the captivity of the Hamas terrorist group are from this kibbutz alone. The destruction is not just in terms of, you know, the little pieces of houses that you can see here, but the damage has been devastating pretty much throughout the kibbutz. Lots of farms and fields have been destroyed as a result of rocket fire. As you can see, huge amount of structural damage to all of the structures here at this particular kibbutz. And as we continue to report here, the Israel army has completely come in and taken over. They've got tanks stationed outside. They've got a lot of personnel deployed here who are obviously going to be here. None of the people who survived obviously are still at this kibbutz, but hopefully they will make their way back at some point of time. But it's just destruction as far as the eye can see in Kibbutz Beeri. Reporting from Beeri in southern Israel, Shiv, Aroor for India Today.
And now in this exclusive conversation with the IDF spokesperson Major David Barak, here's what Gaurav Sawant gets us.
Day 16 of Israel's war on Hamas terror, and Israel is pounding multiple Hamas strongholds, is what the Israeli army tells us at the Gaza Strip. But there's also the opening of a second front with West Bank being targeted. With me is Major David Barak, a spokesperson of the Israeli army. Sir, on day 16, when we hear this artillery go off, who are you targeting? What's being targeted across?
We're targeting areas, Hamas, that we've determined that Hamas is acting under. As we've said all along, we're going to be going after Hamas wherever they are, and that's what we're doing right now. Now, you, like everybody else, has asked the big question of what are we going to be doing next, or when are we going to be doing it? But here, visiting this community right now, where you just visited right now, Beeri, a town of 1,300 people, a little farming community, over 135 of them we know of as of now have been killed. And I'm asking the question, why? And I'm also answering it after coming here and seeing what has happened here. The torture, the massacre of the civilians here. Every Israeli who has been called up, a reservist, such as myself and my children, who have been called up, we all know the answer to that question, why? And if the government decides that we will be going into Gaza, we're prepared to do that. We're prepared on this front, and we're prepared on all the other fronts.
So, you're a family where you as father have been called out and you're at the front lines. Your children have also been called out as reservists, and I mean, 2 generations of the family serving your country against Hamas terror. But there's a second front that's opened at the West Bank. What's the threat there?
We're in a multi-front situation right now, and we're trying to keep it as calmly as possible. Could say the same thing about up north, but we're not interested in getting into any confrontation up north with Hezbollah. They're trying to goad us all the time. And the same thing with Hamas acting in Judea and Samaria, the West Bank, and they're trying to goad us as well. When we find Hamas, whether it be in Gaza or whether it be in Judea and Samaria, we're going to take care of it.